A sleepy coastal breeze. Lilly closes her eyes and breathes deep of the summer air. Peace and quiet. Or here's a farmer's son running up to Lilly. Hello, madam, or is it my lady? I'm not very good at this. It's just that you look like an adventurer, and my pa and I could certainly use some help. Yeah, the Inquisitor General has not come to Port Llast to help the villagers. Ask if there's a reward. I think so. I bet my pa could pay you if you helped out. You could talk to him about it at least. Well, maybe. If it has something to do with a cult. Maybe. I don't know anything about a cult. You have to talk to my pa about that. Yeah, I think she's wondering why the old man didn't come himself then. But please! There's nobody else who can help us. Everyone's busy with their emergencies. So was Lilly. It's not even 2 minutes in town. I'm being swarmed. Okay, I guess there's nothing I can say to convince you. His pa. If his pa had half a mind, he'd have hobbled into town himself, and not sent his half-wit of a son, and not bothered the Inquisitor General herself, but that drunkard they call First Captain instead. She can't afford to grant an audience to every farmer who fancies their neighbor a cultist and hexing their crops. Port Llast, a small town of only about 700 folk, some 35 miles north of Neverwinter, and almost twice as far south of Luskan along the high road. A town between bitter enemies.
Let me try.
Lilly watches in horror as her little thief thieves out in the open.
Yes? Is there something you need?
Yeah, I don't think Lilly wants Sharwyn taking so many liberties. It's not going to make a good impression. Fine. Open it yourself then. Alright. Port Llast is a close ally of Neverwinter. 50 men-at-arms from the city of skilled hands, bolstered by 30 of the Lord's Alliance troops, aid the 50-person local militia, mostly retired stonemasons, in guarding the town from brigand and Luskanite harassment. The Lord's Alliance troops are mainly from Elturel and Baldur's Gate, so that a Luskan attack would risk war with two economically powerful cities. Luskan's interest in Port Llast is for a more southerly harbor for its warships, and most residents are tense and suspicious, expecting Luskanite treachery or even open attack. Alright, so here is the temple. The temple doesn't look like much of a temple at all. More like the ruins of one. There's no door, no ceiling, no clergy. Only a single portal of yellow light in the center of the open hall. The Temple of Tyr. It's dimly lit with candelabras, its air refreshed by potted plants, and one can faintly hear drops falling into pools of water. An elderly dwarf is busy praying at an altar, while a heavily armored man looks on. Lilly approaches the human, despite his perpetual frown.
Yes, hello to you.
Alright, so here's Caliandros at the Temple of Tyr, presumably. Holy, hope your deeds in Neverwinter weren't a fluke. Arabeth has a lot of time and energy invested in you. But don't expect me to go healing you or anything like that. My powers are tied to the teleportation portal and the stone of recall in your backpack. Alright, so he's trained just as Sergol was. Yeah, he's a cleric of Tyr. I serve Arabeth by aiding those who work for her. Alright. Tyr protect you. The Tyrn had best watch his tone. Her deeds were certainly no fluke. How devout can the old dwarf be, or how deaf? The Lady of Murder clears her throat.
Hail to ye!
Interrupting Neurik in his prayers. Welcome to the Tyrn Temple. Tell me, are you here for Tyr services, or perhaps the Lady Luck herself has guided you to us during these dark days? And of course that was curious. Coming through a portal to enter the temple. I know it may seem strange to you, but the temple within Port Llast was actually destroyed during the time of troubles when the gods themselves walked the face of Faerun. We'd retreated to a cave far from the town, hidden well enough that we could carry out our Lord Tyr's orders in safety. For our efforts, he blessed us with the portal that still connects us to the town, and consecrated this new place. Well, that's interesting. So we're not actually below ground, underneath the temple. We're actually outside of the town itself, in a cave. We're no longer in danger in Port Llast, of course, but this hidden temple still serves us well. Yeah, of course, I think she was told by the mayor that he had some disturbing news about something happening in town. Oh, pardon my manners, good sister. I am Neurik, the priest in charge of this Tyrn temple for good Port Llast. Although it pains me to trouble you, I ask a favor of you if I might. As I alluded to, these are dark days. Days that call for a hero. Alright. Sounded like he was about to ask her something. Yeah. I'm hesitant to suggest the task because of the danger involved, but it's very important. You can be certain that I'll compensate you for the risk. Alright. Then at least she'll hear it out. Let me tell you how this started. A short time ago, a foul beast settled into the area of the town. At first, few of us knew of its presence. Indeed, Port Llast has known few troubles for many years. Slowly, however, we became aware several of our citizens disappeared without any trace, and always on the night of a full moon. I don't think she likes where this is going. Wolf prints were found. The howling was constant. We thought the town besieged. The trouble was from no pack of wolves, however. It came from a creature much more powerful and cunning, a werewolf. The famous hunter Sir Karathis was sent for with orders to slay this black wolf, as we came to call it. Karathis took with him 4 of Port Llast's younger lads to aid his task, but unfortunately the black wolf was merciless. He overcame the night and attacked the 4 boys, and only young Ander managed to return to us unharmed. According to Ander, the 3 other boys were wounded but had managed to flee. I fear that this means the curse of the werewolf will have been passed on to them. If the boys are not found and cured or killed, we could very well be facing even more danger than from the black wolf alone. I think Lily's curious how old these boys are, and why the knight would have recruited their assistance in the first place. I have silver charms here which may yet drive the curse from their blood. You must subdue the beasts first, and convince them to use the charms. And then the black wolf himself must be dealt with. A terrible but vital task. Not sure Lily wants to get into the business of well, saving these boys, but she might like the prestige of defeating or bringing in the black wolf. Maybe not literally using Wolfsbane, but might help her reputation. Alright, asking about Ander, one of the 4 boys who I think, returned. Or he's at the Alliance Arms Inn. Mind, however, that he's probably still shaken up from his experiences. And of course she'd be interested in that. That weapon's effective against werewolves, whether she helps or not. I hope that it'll come to such bloodletting only as a last resort. These are innocent lads under a curse. Oh. Lilly will do whatever's easier. There was a peddler who came to town after hearing of our plight. His name is Aelor, if I'm pronouncing that right. You'll find him at the Alliance Arms Inn. Alright. He has silvered arrows. And belladonna. Alright, Lilly will certainly probably purchase some of those. Well, not sure she's actually going to do it, but I think she'll at least agree to it. I think it would do well for the Inquisitor General to take down the Black Wolf. You don't know how relieved I am here to hear that. Alright, giving her silver charms to cure the 3 boys and Sir Karathis. Okay. Each of the boys wears a ring. They should give them up freely if cured. Hopefully, she'll be able to recover them if slain. Alright. Asking where these boys might be. Bran, Geth, and Earth. And Sir Karathis. Usually only to be found at night. Bran was last spotted in Charwood. Alright, asking about Gath. Traveled to Neverwinter Wood. They sound just as scattered as the prisoners. But he liked being around people. I'd look for campgrounds or villages. I think the understanding was that there was only a druid's grove there. Alright. Asking about Earth. Or he's unsure. His family has been so very fearful for him and his whereabouts. We're asking where they are. The Eisenfelds, that's their family name. They have a farm on the south end of Port Llast itself. Alright. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a priority, but if she comes across some werewolves, she'll be glad to, I guess, use these anti-werewolf weapons that she's hopefully going to pick up soon. Silvered arrows. Alright, asking about Sir Karathis. Yeah, brave knight. Faced with his own corruption, I'm sure he'd flee to the ends of the world. Perhaps if you can save the children, they'll know where he might be. She's really only interested in finding the Black Wolf, though. Alright. Yeah, I guess he's able to provide healing services. Why, my sister, I can tell you right now that all you need can be provided for you by Tyr. I was about to get into specifics. If you need curative scrolls or potions of different sorts, they're the steel of the finest priests. If you need anything that could be of use to one of the devoted order, well, let me say right now, my sister, you are in the right place. Sounds like a salesman. Alright. I guess asking to see what the temple offers. They would likely be disguised and could be anywhere. as yet another pair of red leather boots, the ones blessed by priests of Shaundakul, though they exude more power than the others she's seen. Or as a pair of black leather boots of Elvenkind, soft boots which enable one to move without sound of footfall in virtually any surroundings, even across a patch of dry leaves or over a normally creaky wooden floor. The boots were made famous in their use by elven battalions in the year of singing arrows against Sembian mercenaries. A rod of resurrection imbued with the power to restore life itself. Lilly's owned such an artifact before, though can't imagine spending close to 50,000 coin for a power even her holy defender will eventually be able to perform. And a lesser ring of power, fashioned after those commissioned by Mynseril Lostbone, a priest of Malar the Beastlord, the god of bloodlust. The priest enjoyed watching many a bloody roll or battle, but felt they were simply over too soon. He was convinced that the regenerative capabilities as seen in trolls would make bloodsport more entertaining, and so created rings of power to give to combatants opposed to each other. The smooth-surfaced silver charms for Neurik are weak, but apparently blessed by the priest, and so able to save the boys or even the knight. Lilly doubts she'll be trying to convince a snapping and clawing werewolf to do anything, except forfeit its life, of course. If she finds any of them in human form, that's one thing, but she'll not parley with beasts. She only needs a ring, dead or alive. Or here's yet another Tyran divining pool, which I guess Lilly will examine. As usual, not see anything. Apparently, Tyr hasn't found her old worn-out boots either. She smiles at the irony of expecting a blind god to find anything.